We've been cooped up in this church for how long? 4 months? Man, I haven't even seen the enemy yet. But I know they took out, Juan. He was our best little guy. Get your head down, Martinez. Oh, yeah, you're right, Sarge. I should get down. The Paraguayans are coming. I've been here for 2 years. 2 years. But it's about time for you to leave, isn't it? 2 years? 2 years on the front? I can imagine your mom's happy about that. I can't wait to see her after this is all over. Yeah, Sarge, I bet your mom's really happy for you to come home. Wait, what is it? Sarge! Oh! Martinez, no! That's what I like to call a good World War I grease cooking. Alrighty, I'm up here with Covey Surplus, and today we are shooting and comparing the Mauser 1912s. This one is a short or long rifle. Obviously, it's got a few more inches on it, and that one's a short rifle for obvious reasons.
Well, it's a little average, I'd say.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm proficient in average lengths. So yeah, we got basically the exact same rifle, just the long version and the short version. So today we're going to be testing the differences between, the accuracy, the handling, the weight difference, reloading speeds. Also, one thing to note: this carbine version does have a bent bolt. Yeah, the barrel's bent. Bent bolt, and this one has a straight bolt. So we're actually going to see a little bit of the differences of reloading speeds. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on some drills. So I'm thinking for the first drill, I want to see just the straight up aiming speed. I mean, they do have the exact same iron sights, but the weight difference. So I want to do we'll do 5 rounds each. We'll just start here. We'll do 2 targets in the 2 in the right, 2 in the left, and then 1 on the whatever bottle we have in the center.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah. So like, we could do like a high ready, load it up.
Yeah.
We could have it on mid safety if we want to, and then mid turn we can turn it off safety, and then bring it to us, and then do the drill.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll just kind of see what sort of speeds we get. We'll do 1 on each gun.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
So yeah, let's hit the body target first, 2 on each, and then whatever bottle we have in the
middle.
middle.
Alright, so let's set up the range. Get that ready.
Alrighty. You understand the course of fire?
Yep.
Alrighty, shooter ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Beep! Ah, that's safety.
I missed it. Fuck.
It's going to be a little harder to maneuver, bring up the target faster.
You'll get it. So, you understand the course of fire?
Yes, sir.
Shooter ready? Beep!
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
You're a little bit more proficient in them than I am. I've shot a handful of Mausers. I own a couple. So I know you got a little bit more time on that one than I do. But, I mean, even with the long rifle, how did it handle?
The only problem I really had, like the weight is definitely a difference between the two, like bringing it up to target.
Yeah.
But the straight bolt is not meant for speed. Like this is meant for like actually securing that you have the chamber locked.
Yeah.
The bent one is much easier to get a faster re-rack on it. Much easier.
Absolutely.
But I will say, zeroing on this is a little better. That one you have to hold a lower zero to it on the sights to get it level at shorter range. This one feels like, even though it says 300, it's probably more like 100 meters.
I mean, we're like, what, 25 yards?
Right.
We're like short fucking distance.
Yeah, so bringing this one up the target was a little slower, but I had to get used to like mid mid-drill, I had to get used to re-racking this kind of fast. Like the
Yeah.
first 2 were kind of iffy, and then the last 3 were really good.
Oh, I thought this was damn great. I did have a little issue not pulling the bolt back far enough. That's just my own personal issues.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not proficient at shooting. I'm just autistic when it comes to military history and guns. So I think with a little bit more time, I could get this down a lot faster.
Oh yeah, and I've ran targets at that where I've emptied the mag in like 4 or 5 seconds. Like it's
But-
not hard to do, but again, if you're running that fast, then accuracy is gonna drop away.
I mean,
down.
this is 308.
right.
That's
7 mil Mauser, yeah.
Which I mean, they're so comparable. It's really not much of a difference.
The only difference is that one's just gonna have a little more kick and ass behind it. This
Yes.
one is just gonna it's just a lighter shooting and more flat shooting trajectory wise. You gonna hit that bird?
I'm gonna hit that bird.
Oh.
I'm not gonna hit it with a round. I'm gonna throw a fucking rock at it. I got a shotgun. I got a shotgun.
You got war face, let me see your war face! Got a war face, let me see your war face!
It's a certain time of the year that's really great taking care of a certain type of rascal called gnomes. And as often as you guys know, they love mini pumpkins. So we're gonna send our cameraman here. We're gonna knock this off his head, and as soon as he hits the ground, all the gnomes are gonna be scattering. We're gonna pick him off as we can. So let's go and get this drill set up.
Now we are going to test walking fire. Hey Ian from Forgotten Weapons, do you mind telling us why walking fire isn't a good idea?
While they thought about it at the beginning of the war, they dumped it pretty quickly because anyone who stands up and marches across open ground firing from the hip is going to get shot in about nanoseconds.
We gotta storm that church, boys! Oh, there's a straggler in no man's land.
Something about that boy ain't right.
Tism time break. So me and Mr. Covey are gonna go to his storefront, describe the details of each rifle, compare them, give our final thoughts, and that's what we like to call Tism time.
So, quick introduction to this. This is something new. So, when you're watching gun YouTube videos, everybody says, okay, ADHD time. Well, we all know the autistic people who love firearms, military history, and all the little tiny details are very autistic. So, we like that sort of thing. So, now we're going to talk about the little tiny details. Unfortunately, we could talk for hours about it, so we're just going to cut it down to a few minutes. Go ahead and give us a quick history of these rifles.
So these are both Chilean Mausers. They were both procured, like ordered in 1911. They didn't start arriving until 1912 and 1913, and not all of them got shipped to World War I. So some of them did see World War I from the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but these examples were not, clearly. The only difference between the rifle and the carbine, obviously, is about 5 inches in barrel length. Carbines were given to cavalry and artillerymen, people who didn't really need a long rifle. And long rifle were solely infantrymen.
Sorry, it's just a long fidget toy.
Yeah, the long fidget toy.
Put it back down.
But other than that, the differences on these two are obviously quality. I mean, there's nothing like inherently wrong with this one. You can just obviously see it's more worn off than this one.
The this is more close to an original finish.
Yes.
This one appears to have been, the bolt and the rear receiver have been polished, and the front is actually immaculately blue.
Yes, so I don't know who would have done that, but the front has, and actually a lot of the few smaller parts, like the bottom finger guard, floor plate, some of the sling swivels have been blued.
You know, it could have been a parade Mauser for the Chileans.
I have-
Or it could have been somebody in the States that done it.
Honestly, yeah, I have my suspicions, but I don't have any way to confirm that, so I'm not going to say stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
The next difference on these two is rounds. So in the Cold War, the carbine got converted to .308 as most of these did that were still in Chilean
For NATO.
service.
For NATO.
For NATO, yes. This 7.62 by 51 NATO round. And then this one's in its original caliber, which is 7 mil Mauser.
Which we saw that when we did we're going to see that when we do the penetration test.
Yes.
There was, like, these rounds are very similar in size, just slightly different. So I think the 7mm does hit more, but it doesn't feel like it hits more.
Right, and the one difference between these two rounds, availability was an issue when getting these two rounds. This one's a full metal jacket, like a standard 7.62 by 51 NATO round.
Yeah.
This is these are soft point.
Because that's what we
7mm.
can get.
That's what we could get at the time. So in all honesty, these are probably going to do a lot more damage on the outside of a penetration test, but the 7mm Mauser is a very flat shooting and very fast shooting cartridge. So in all honesty, the 7mm out of a longer barrel is going to do a lot better than the 308 out of a slightly shorter barrel.
But when it comes to like the physical differences, like all the minute differences, yeah. But these ones, obviously we have the longer barrel. This is a 28-inch.
I believe so, yes.
And this is a 21-inch.
Yes.
So obviously we're going to have a bit more accuracy and FPS out of feet per second.
Yeah.
out of this. But obviously with handling, the carbine, we have the bent bolt.
Yes.
And it functions so much faster than the straight bolt.
It is immeasurably different when you have a bent bolt that's close to the trigger, especially when you can bring the bolt back in one motion and then close it in one motion, and then your hand's already really close to that trigger.
And the weight difference, the speed of the bolts, did perform. And most of the performance differences were me. But yeah, these are. It was really interesting being able to put both of these rifles side by side.
Yes.
So
I did enjoy getting to see the comparison because with what the Mauser market is mostly in the U.S., we have the standard short rifles from World War I, or from World War II. My apologies. For like the Arisaka Type 99, the Kar 98K, and even some from World War II or World War I, like the Kar 98 AZ and a few others, like the Spanish and most of the Swedish Mausers are all short rifles, like standard short rifles. So I know a lot of people own the long ones, but to be able to compare the exact same type of Mauser side by side is nice because most of the people who shoot Mausers are used to the short ones.
Yeah.
So it's not rare, but it's just a different experience getting used to
and it
it.
is nice just to see pieces that aren't.
Oh yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is real cool. Let's go ahead and get back to the shooting.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure some of the non-autistics are getting ready to leave the video. So let's go ahead and get them some action.
Oh yeah. On my previous Mauser carbine video, we already did a video on destroying Diet Coke. And what's worse than Diet Coke, I said Diet Coke was the objectively worst soda, but the Diet off-brand sodas are probably worse. So we are going to load up some 7mm Mauser here. And we are going to do a penetration test on these sodas. The longer one's better in 3, 2, 1. Whoa!
That smells sugary.
Let's assess this.
Well, hey! Ooh!
Oh, survivor!
Dr. Thunder!
Survivor!
She's creamy.
Now that's a lot of damage! Man, how did I end up fighting Italians?